Rainbow Six Siege is considered the most complex competitive FPS game. And after my experience, I would have to agree. I spent 130 hours playing this game in an attempt to understand it. The goal was to hit Bronze 3, which is statistically better than the average ranked player. And now I finally understand. This game is hard as fuck. But here's the thing, I've actually played Siege before. Wait! Let me finish. Back in 2019 on PS4 when Ubisoft added James Gordon to the game, or is that Ted Lasso? I had only played for 45 in-game hours, but 90% of that time was spent in custom games with friends. In 2022, I tried again, but I only played for 12 hours because it didn't seem like my kind of game. But now, in 2026, I have returned, and this time, I plan to become simply better. The first thing you need to know about Siege is that before you fight the enemy,
Reloading, watch my back!
You have to find the map. When you're trying to learn a new map, you're not learning one map. You're learning 8 different variations of the same map based on whatever side the defenders chose and what holes are in the walls, floors and ceilings. And can someone please explain why every map has like 6 staircases but it's so hard to find one? And you know, I actually tried to learn the maps before playing, so I picked the first map they showed me, went into landmark training, and that did not help at all. There's also cameras built into every map which you can learn, and it's an interesting mechanic because if you're in a 1v1 situation, there's a chance you're actually being watched by 4 dead people who now possess the cameras. So shoot the cameras. But anyway, it's time to queue up and learn through trial and terror. So now if you're going to be playing Siege, you're going to have to pick operators. And as of right now, there's 76 of them, all with their own unique gadget to experience. Every time I died, I had to ask myself how and why, then search how to counter insert operator I just died to. For instance, Dokkaebi. Okay, Dokkaebi is calling my phone.
Your phone ringing.
Hello?
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got low.
How'd you get my number? Or shield operators. They just walk at you. I searched what I'm supposed to do. They said melee it. I melee it. And they melee me. And I'm dead.
Mission failed.
What am I supposed to do? Fair enough. Surprisingly, gunplay is actually the easiest part. Unlike other games, Siege recoil actually follows your crosshair, so instead of having to memorize patterns, you just pull down. Which is great advice until I'm using the SMG-12 and I start outlining the enemy. The thing about this game is, killing other players is not the primary focus. But for some reason, people are obsessed with kills. And I get it, you want your key to look nice, but the most important scoreboard is at the top of the screen. So can you focus on the bombs? Please? And I can almost guarantee that losing doesn't feel good, and you'd rather win with 2 kills than lose with 12. I've seen 5v2s turn into 1v1s within like 10 seconds. To add to that, no one reinforces. I would load into sight and it's just soft walls? Are you trying to get penetrated? So I started doing the dirty work myself, putting up reinforcements and making rotate holes. And honestly, that increased our chances of winning, so why not? And as a result, I would keep finding myself in clutch situations because I actually played the objective. And these moments matter a lot. This game is first to 4, sometimes first to 5. So one clutch wins you at least 20% of the match. It's always a coin flip with your team, which is either the best thing ever or they call you slurs and backseat you from the grave.
Yo, my boy is being weird. I don't know why, but he said he's gonna kill you if you don't give the fuser. He said I'm gonna smoke your bitch ass.
Speaking of comms, good callouts make the game feel much better. That is if you know what they're calling out. Mezzanine? Aqua? Swamp? Africa? Most of the games have been pretty silent for me though. I assume it's because of the rank I'm in, or people are in their own pre-made talking without me. So yeah, you have good teammates and bad teammates, just like most other multiplayer games. But in this game, there's team killing. Sometimes it's an accident, and sometimes it's very intentional. Sometimes you'd see someone get team killed the moment the round starts. But hey, at least there's reverse friendly fire, which makes you take damage when you shoot your teammates. Only after you commit treason the first time though. Sound in Siege makes me so paranoid, and there's so many different sound cues. Explosions, breaching, shooting, reloading, rappelling, sprinting, running, walking, crouching, proning, droning, aiming, planting the defuse, defusing the defuse. Siege also has this weird problem where sometimes you just can't see people. Like I'll be looking right at someone and my brain won't register what I'm looking at. I might shoot the edge of a table thinking it's someone's head. I even had this problem where my scope casing would block exactly where I would need to look, so I'd be aiming at someone and not even know it. So I decided to switch from holographic to a reflex sight. There was this one time I saw some movement and shots coming from a particular direction, so I did what anybody would do in that situation. I shot my teammate. And I killed myself in the process. Thank you, reverse friendly fire. So yeah, the learning curve, steep, mountainous, but you can still play the game, enjoy it, and win without having that deep knowledge. And yeah, there are a lot of concepts in this game. But for me, learning the maps is the biggest factor for improving in Siege. Basically, the art of learning where to be and where to look. Everything else will be much easier to fall into place once that is covered. The way I started learning was by playing many unranked games on my way to level 50. Once I was a little bit more familiar with the game, I started watching YouTube videos to help build fundamental understanding. Took those tips, spammed more unranked games, and I finally unlocked ranked mode. But before immediately diving in, I went back into customs again, focusing on the maps in the ranked pool. Not the entire map, just in and around the bomb sites, building a mental map very slowly. And this time the map started making sense, with at least Oregon and Clubhouse. Everything else, I improvised. I can't study all the maps at once, right? How would I remember everything? Am I a cartographer? So I started playing ranked, and proceeded to lose on repeat. But sometimes you have to fall before you rise, and during this, I picked up some tricks and ideas from the other players. I also started learning player habits and figuring out how to abuse it. Half of the game involves gathering and using information. If you don't drone, you die. If you don't listen, you die. If you don't anticipate, you die. Every gun is a one-shot headshot, except shotgun pellets. So even the worst player can hit a lucky shot on you if you misplay. This game rewards quick thinking and constant adjusting. I'm not saying that you don't need aim and recoil control, because you definitely do. But that will never compensate for bad game sense. Siege is a game where every second matters. When you're defending, the time is on your side, unless they plant the diffuser. So inversely, as an attacker, the time is not on your side until you plant the diffuser. Why did it seem like no one understood this? Why are we constantly just looking for gunfights? Sometimes the best course of action is in fact to swing and fight, I will admit that. And yeah, if you kill all 5 players, that's one way to win. But me? I still maintain that play the objective mindset. I plant the defuse, I anchor the site. I delay the enemy, I support the team. I kill when necessary. And with this playstyle, I began to climb. Sometimes I carry, sometimes I get carried. Sometimes I'm in flow state, other times I have no idea what's going on. But what I do know is how to become simply better.
You
might be ready for your first mission soon.
One op 4 remaining.
After all of that, I made it to my goal of Bronze 3 with a win rate of 49%. These are my playtime statistics and about how long it took me to hit Bronze 3. Don't ask me how. Also, is Siege rank system broken? The matchmaking is really strange sometimes, and apparently a champ can queue with a copper? Huh? Is there no ranked skill gap restriction? But anyway, that rank is somehow above average, and my cost was actually pretty high, so I wasn't completely useless. On defense, I played Cade and Aruni because they have really nice guns and good delay. Thorn as well because the traps are really annoying. On attack, I played Termite because he gets me to the site and I will plant this diffuser. And well, we don't need to talk about the other attackers. Focus on Termite. So with all that being said, when the maps, the sounds, the ideas all come together, there's no game like it, and I really enjoyed it. And now it's time to see what game I will be experiencing next. Please subscribe.